I had to look to see if it was still morning. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Happy Mother's Day. I guess I should be saying, I hope you had a great Mother's Day. Hope you spent it with family, friends, ate some really good food, and just had an overall awesome day. Let me know in the comments below if you celebrated with your mother, if you celebrated with your mother-in-law. I don't have a mother-in-law anymore. She passed away a few years ago now, so my mom's still around, so I'm still going to be taking her out to lunch today. So it'd be nice to know what you guys do, what you guys, your mother may have passed away, and I'd love to know from you guys what you miss about your mom, what you liked doing with your mom on Mother's Day. If she lived close, if she lived far away. My mom lives about just over an hour away from where I live, so it's not usually too bad of a drive. Today I'm taking the 407, which is a toll road, just to get me there just a little bit faster. It is Sunday, so usually not that expensive to use it on a Sunday at this time of the day. It's like Monday between like 8 or maybe even like 7 to like 9. So the prices go up depending on the traffic. So if you go on a Sunday at 11:26, it shouldn't be that expensive. That helped with my decision making for the day. Last night after I did my cleanup and I made that video for you guys about what I've been doing with the van, I made a burger bowl, which is ground beef, a couple slices of cut up bacon and some cheese. That's why I call it my ground burger, or my ground burger bowl. Carol made some chicken for herself, and then she had to go and do a sleepover at a friend's house because they are away on vacation and they have 2 dogs. So Carol and another lady are like taking turns looking after this lady's dogs. So Carol wasn't home last night. She came home for dinner and then she left. So she had to go there yesterday afternoon, which is Saturday afternoon, and then she could come back to our house because it's really close to our house. Come back to our house, have dinner, hang out for a bit, and then she had to go back and look after the dogs for the night. And then I went to go see her this morning to wish her a happy Mother's Day, and then now I'm driving to my mom's place. But last night after Carol left, I get full reign of the TV. I don't have to like compromise or watch something that I might not want to watch, but just, it's all about compromising, right? I decided to try and catch up on my Andor, which is a Star Wars series. And Andor, I believe, is the gentleman who then is one of the people that helps steal the plans for the Death Star leading into A New Hope, which is episode 4. So episode 4 was A New Hope, and Andor is a series that happens just before Princess Leia gets the plans. Really good series. If you decide to watch it, the first, 3 or 4 episodes, I found them quite long and a little on the boring side, and there's this, I guess, police officer or detective who finds out about somebody who was in an altercation, and then he's just like non-stop relentless going after Andor, and it just kind of irked me a bit. So watching the first series, the first season, it took me a bit to get used to, and then I finally got it. Started watching it more, I started enjoying watching it, and now I'm watching season 2, and it just started off really, really, really good, and so I'm really enjoying it. Let me know if you've watched all of Andor. Let me know if you enjoyed it. If you didn't like it, go for it. I also want to talk to you about how sore my hands are. There's all these little injuries all over my hands from splinters or from being poked by a piece of wood. Luckily, I haven't had any injuries from tools, so knock on wood. Yeah, just grabbing a piece of wood or moving something, you always get either poked by a splinter. See, I've got one right on the palm of my hand. I'll have to get that out later. Last night, I had one, long one, about that big, and I didn't even know I had it until I was like looking at my hands, and I'm like, wow, there's a whole sliver perfectly parallel under my skin. You could see the whole sliver, and it was just right under that epidermis. And then I grabbed it from the wrong end and pulled it out with the tweezers. I got these like super sharp, pointy, almost needle nose tweezers to get those out. And some of them you can't grab because they're just under the skin. So you gotta like dig a little bit with that needle. Not fun. So as I sit here driving, talking to you guys, I can feel all the little nicks and cuts and pokes in my hands. So hope they heal really quickly. When I do finish a piece, I try to use my orbital sander, and that's what that's called, right? An orbital sander or a palm sander, whatever. So I try to get all the edges just to make sure I don't get poked again. So I'm trying to be preemptive on that. I also brought a piece of wood and that bolt to show somebody at like a Home Hardware or Home Depot or whatever, just to see if I can, if they have any ideas on how to, I guess, drill a hole out from the other side so the nut fits in. I also made sure I grabbed all the extra pieces. That way we'll know how deep I need to go and how to stop the drill from going in too far. Again, people that do woodworking all the time, they already know how to do a lot of this stuff, so they can build way faster than I can. They either have all the perfect tools. I'm slowly gathering all my perfect tools, and they definitely are helping me do a lot of stuff. But a lot of times I got to figure this stuff out before I start working on the wood, because I don't want to wreck wood by using the tool improperly, or again, kind of stuff like that. I would like to recess it, or there might even be like larger screws that could go in and it won't be necessarily a bolt. I'm not sure if that was a good idea or a bad idea for drawer slides that will hold that much weight, to use just a screw, because I kind of don't want to damage the outside of the wood. I guess it's kind of too late. I've already drilled holes through it. Yeah, I'll probably end up just drilling out, I'm not sure what you even would call it, just drilling out a bit of the wood so that the nut can go inside the wood a little bit more, and it'll be recessed. And I guess later on I could just putty over it and then sand it or something. If you have any other ideas on that, guys, that would be super handy. But like I said, I woke up probably at, I think Sunny woke me up at 4:30 in the morning, and then it took me 2 hours to fall back asleep because I just kept going over in my head over and over and over again how I'm going to build the drawer. And then I kind of started thinking about, you know, when I had the cot, I could put several boxes and my clothing bag box carrying thing, I could just slide it under anytime I wanted to, pull something out, grab it, put it back in. And so I started trying to think of possibly other things I could be doing with this build to help me store my clothing. And where am I going to put my solar power portable units? Am I going to put it, you know, behind the front seat, behind at the back? I don't know where I'm going to put that kind of stuff yet. I think I just might, it'd be nice to actually tuck it away somewhere so that if I do, you know, have to hit the brakes, it won't come tumbling through the vehicle. That's kind of dangerous. And another thing I kept thinking about is when I do have the drawer and the drawer gets slid all the way out, I really want to have, I think they call them coffee table lifts. So they're little hydraulic hinges, but instead of having a hinge along the end and opening up something like this, the whole thing comes up and is now higher. And that way you can have counter space here and storage underneath. And if you wanted to do some cooking, you can just lift that up. You don't have to move everything off to get access, like the spoons or whatever. So it'd be nice to have that. And I've seen a few people build those. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna have one or two of those, probably just one, because I'm going over and over in my head what I think the final thing's gonna look like. I'm also gonna, once the drawer is built, I'm also gonna get my stove and put it into spots and try to figure out how I want the stove to look. And then that might also help tell me where I'm going to be cutting parts of the sides of the drawer out to fit things in. I guess, like I said, we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, I hope you had an amazing Mother's Day. I wish you all the best, and we'll talk to you again in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.